Okay, so welcome to my pantry. So up top here we have like a lot of baking ingredients. My husband and I don't bake very often anymore, but what we do have up here is like low carb. We have, or sugar-free, some Mrs. Butterworth's sugar-free syrup that we had to import from the US. There are like a lot of different different baked items that can sometimes use that as an ingredient. We have like guar gum, xanthan gum, stevia, liquid, a whole bunch of extracts. What else? Yeah, coconut sugar. Anyway, that gives you an idea of what's on that shelf. Okay, this shelf. This is different peanut butters. Peanut butters are relatively low carb, have a decent amount of protein, and when I was forcing myself to get to 1,000 calories a day, they were very useful for me for adding more calories without adding carbs. And we also have some of the Mavers, like dark chocolate, like all natural spreads with chia. And let's see, up behind the Skippy, which we get from like Costco because it's hubby's favorite American peanut butter. You can't find it anywhere else here. We have some chia seeds, and then this little collection here, which looks like pasta, is shirataki noodles. It's the Slendier brand here in Australia. Aussies, you can find these at Woolies, Woolies, Coles, Superbarn, probably other places too. But for a serving of these, and a serving is 125 grams, which is actually like 3 servings for me. The calories are 10 for like 125 grams. The calories are 10, the protein less than 1, carbs less than 1 gram, dietary fiber is 6.3. So if you count dietary fiber in your carb count, this is still 7.3 grams of carbs, actually less than that. And very, very much lower than regular pasta. So we have fettuccine noodle, which is like kind of, well, they say it's like Asian style noodles, but there's no single Asian style noodle. But anyway, angel hair pasta, spaghetti, and rice. All that is shirataki, or in Australia they call it here konjac. And then we have coconut oil, which we do a lot of cooking with. And we have just mixed nuts. Nuts like peanut butter, low in carbs, good amount of protein. Basically, when I go shopping, I look for things that are higher in protein than they are in carbs. And the more different the ratio, the better. So, and sunflower seeds to add to various things. Down here, this is mostly my husband's awe-inspiring tea collection, coffee, and we have Quest bars right here. If I know I'm going to be out for the afternoon and I'm not going to be able to eat, sometimes I'll grab one, take it with me. Sugar-free coffee mate for my coffee. And these I was using a lot when I was trying to make 1,000 calories a day. Macadamia power food. It's basically nuts and seeds. And I think some dried coconut as well. And I usually just add that to my yogurt. And let's see. Down on this shelf we have some pasta sauce. This is like an Alfredo sauce. It's got like 5.4 grams of carbs per serving. But what we're going to do with this is we're going to mix that with some sausage and put it over some of the shirataki noodles. Some more pasta sauce. This week I actually took some low carb, higher protein pasta sauce and mixed it with a bunch of ground beef and just had that like all week long, either like mostly by itself or sometimes there were shirataki noodles. I'm trying not to, like, we just found these, so we're really like excited about them because we haven't been able to find any here. So we're kind of like a little bit crazy with them right now, but that'll die down pretty shortly because they're not tasty. They're really good if you want pasta. They're just not that exciting. So let's see what else. Oh, we have canned tuna. I'm not showing you the stuff that I really don't eat. Canned chicken, no sugar added, tomato sauce, or if you're an American, ketchup. There's no sugar barbecue sauce behind it for a recipe I'm going to make this week. Refried beans. This is another one of those things that's moderately high in carbs, and it's not really higher in protein than carbs, so it's a very rare thing for me. I only really eat them if my stomach is kind of upset and I can't get anything else in. More canned chicken. And down here we just have sugar-free Jello pudding, Jello, like actual Jello desserts. So jelly for you Australians. Again, we had to import those. And I very rarely eat that. I might eat the pudding with some protein powder mixed in if I'm having a really bad tummy day. But there's, even in the sugar-free Jello pudding, there's carbs. So I avoid that most of the time. Water enhancers. So Crystal Light and Mio, again, we don't have those here in Australia, but they have just come out with very similar things here in Australia, which you can find at Woolies and Coles. It's LQD+. I think it's by Cotties. If not, I know Cotties has a version as well. But anyway, it's the same people who make cordial for you people in Australia. This is Diet Cordial in a squeeze bottle. And the dreaded Optifast. This is what I had to be on pre-surgery for 4 weeks. That's actually the veggie soup. It's one of the few things that we have left from the Optifast diet I was on. I only would eat that if I was feeling really sick and I needed to get some protein in. It's pretty high in carbs, and I think, can't remember, yeah, 22 grams of carbs and 17 grams of protein. So there's more carbs than protein in Optifast. I don't understand why so many surgeons in Australia are so adamant about the Optifast. There's so many better choices you can make that would shrink your liver better. But anyway, that's a topic for another day. Crustkits, hubby likes those. And then at the bottom here, sugar-free Tirani syrup. Chocolate. I have chocolate and vanilla. I wish I had more flavors than that. You can add that to your protein shake. You can add it to yogurt. You can add it to pretty much anything you want to give it a little sweetness without calories or carbs. I have some Isopure unflavored protein powder that I still will occasionally throw into things if I'm low on protein. And some Optimum Nutrition Gold Standard whey protein isolate. This one is the cinnamon graham cracker flavor. I got to the point after my first several months on those where I just could not handle any more flavored protein powders. I couldn't stomach it anymore. So I'm very lucky that I get most of my protein from food these days and I don't really have to use it. Oh, and this is the Goodness Superfoods Protein Better For You cereal. It says lower carb down there. A serving, which is a half a cup, is 10 grams of protein, 175 calories, 21 grams of carbs. So as you can tell, but out of those 21 grams of carbs, well, no, this is Aussie packaging. 21 grams of carbs, 9 grams of dietary fiber. So really 30 carbs if you count fiber. So yeah, that's not something that I eat very often either. If I really, really want cereal, I might have a little bit of that with some milk. Now we're going to move over to my fridge. Okay, so now you're going to get to snoop in my fridge. All right, let's see. Right now, you guys, you might have seen me post these on Tumblr. They're not looking as good as they were when I made them originally, but we have a little half of mini bell peppers filled with goat's cheese. Actually, I'll probably have those right after this, at least a few of them. And we have St. Dalfor Rhapsody de Fruits all natural ingredients, 100% spreadable fruit, no sugar. Well, no cane sugar, it says. But it still does have sugars in it, just natural sugars. But this is a very rare thing for me. Like, I might occasionally have a piece of low-carb bread with this on it and some peanut butter, but it's not very often. And only if I can fit it in to my carbs for the day. Sun-dried tomato strips. I add these to a lot of bland stuff to give it some flavor. Let's see what else. You're gonna laugh, but this is something I eat all the time. Mayonnaise. My sleeve still likes really soft, really moist foods. I think because of the reflux that I have, it's a little more sensitive. So I use mayonnaise to add to things like canned tuna and chicken, obviously. Let's see. Oh, mild taco sauce. I use Old El Paso. I use that and basil pesto. Just little jarred sauces again to add to things like fish, to give it like a little more flavor and make it a little more exciting to eat. This is homemade sugar-free chocolate sauce that we made, but it does still have some carbs to it. So not many, but I was adding it to my yogurt every morning for a while there. Nature's Miracle Food, the best of the best protein when my stomach is filling up to it. Eggs. Eggs are really good for you, like the whole thing. Like, don't just, like, sorry, my fridge beeps whenever it's open too long, but don't just eat the egg whites, because a lot of the protein's in the yolk and the other nutrients. Butter. I like butter. As you can tell, we don't eat low fat in this house. Like I've said before, we like low carb, high fat, high protein. So we're not scared of butter here. Let's see. Yeah. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to shut it for a minute so it'll calm down. Okay. Temperamental thing, I swear. Okay, so under there we have the cheese shelf. Yes, we have an entire shelf for cheese. Philly cream cheese. Salsa, not something I eat too often. Colby slices. Broussard, garlic and herbs cheese. Laughing Cow cheese. And yes, I'm going to get to put all this back in a minute, which is going to be fun. Summerdale English cheese, cheddar with chili and lime. Is this yeah, we keep all the labels here while we're still eating them so I can log them. Okay, this is mainland Epicure cheese. This is Emmental, I think. No, what is this? You know, I'm not really sure what this is, but it looks like blue cheese. I hope it's supposed to look like that. No, I'm kidding. We just don't have the label here. Craft singles. Yes, we do have these in Australia, but they are different than American craft singles, which is why when we want American craft singles, we go to Costco and we get Kirkland processed cheese slices. And we have a whole bunch of Chobani yogurt. Okay, here we go. This is fruit, nut, and brandy cream cheese. And this is Wacko Gold washed rind cheese. I think that's all the cheese we have, you guys. Can you believe it? Like, I don't think that's enough cheese. I think we're crazy. And then with blueberries and strawberries are typically the only fruit that you'll really find in this house. Hubby will sometimes get some oranges or something for himself, but I stick to strawberries or blueberries because they're some of the lowest carb. And let's see. Oh, sour cream. Love sour cream on everything. Yeah, and I have a couple of lovely looking steaks for a dish I'm going to cook today. And then this is the leftover Hungarian recipe from the other day, the sakali cabbage. I might have said that wrong. I probably did. But yeah, that recipe is on my Tumblr if anybody wants it. Oh, and last but not least, Herman brought low-carb bread. And this we get at Super Barn. It's the only place we found it. It's 11 grams of protein, 2 grams of carbs. So if you want some bread, that's probably the way, like a good way to go. But I personally am not a huge fan of it, which is good because I don't need to be a huge fan of the bread in our house. Like I would rather stay away from it most of the time, and not liking it helps me do that. Oh, and then obviously there's milk, full cream milk. We don't use low fat or skim, and water. Gotta have water. And I think that's basically it. Okay.